on your screen?
Yes, sir.
You can see. Okay, in the previous class that we have started uh, that leaf structure, and in the leaf structure that we learned about the leaf structure. We have seen basic typical type of leaf, and then we learned about the venation. Is it venation of the leaf? We learned. Remember that reticulate and parallel. Is it
Yes, sir.
two types of venation? Reticulate, I told that it is found in dicot plant leaf, in broad leaf. So the venation is reticulate. It is network type of veins and veinlets. And in the parallel venation, the veins run more or less parallel from the base of the leaf to the apex of the leaf. Okay. So this way we can, by observing a leaf, we can tell that the plant is dicotyledonous or it is monocotyledonous. Is it? So that can be easily identified. And next is that one is called the phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy of the leaf. Okay. Phyllotaxy is the pattern in which the leaves are attached to the stem or branches. Stem or branches. This is way in which it is attached. All right. The way it appears on the stem. So there are three basic types are there. Three basic type. One is alternate. Okay. Alternate phyllotaxy. In alternate phyllotaxy, you will find that at one node, uh, at one node, only one leaf is present. Node, you remember that the point at which the leaves are attached on a stem, that point is node. So if in the leaf, if on the branch, say this is the branch of the plant, and here there is one leaf, and the next one is on the next node, and it is more or less coming out alternately. See, on this side, this This one, this is, if we start from here, this is the third leaf on the same side or in the similar position, but little bit above the previous one. Is it? Alternate. Alternate leaves are on the same side or on the same position. This is the condition. So here we find that is the one leaf at one node. This is alternate. When there is one leaf at each node, okay, and the leaves are alternately arranged on the stem. This one we find usually in case of China rose. Okay, here is, this is the one. See, this one is China rose. It is showing, of course, so there are many other also. Here you can see that is one leaf. Here is one, here is one, alternately on the side, same side. The second one is second type is that is called opposite. In opposite, there is at each node there are one pair of leaves. At each node there are one pair of leaves. Okay, so naturally, and one pair, so these leaves are arranged one opposing the other. So just on the opposite side, say here, if this is the stem axis and this is one node, one other node, another node, right? One leaf is here. Exactly at the opposite side, there is another leaf. Here, so one pair of leaves at each node. Okay, this type of thing we can see in guava. Okay, then tulsi, etc. in family Labiati, Labiati family. This one is that what is called basil. In this family, in Labiati or Lamiaceae, all the plants, they have this opposite type of phyllotaxy. So it is fixed and it is characteristics featured. Then the third type we get only in few. Of course, third one is not very common, but still we find in many of the plant. Here it is called whorl. Whorl means in a ring, in a bunch. Okay, here what happened if this is the stem axis, at each node there are more than two leaves. In opposite, two leaves. In case of whorl, there are more than two leaves. That is, three or more leaves are there. Okay, here if we draw this way the diagram, okay, more than, in this case, whorl, when there are more than two leaves at each node, it is called whorl type, that is forming a ring around the node, and this is found in Allostonia. Okay, so you can see the diagram of that leaf phyllotaxy. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 leaves are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 leaves at each node or even more than that. Okay, so this is called, this one is Alstonia, and here it is guava, this canna. So this is the type of phyllotaxy. You can easily, so easy way of identifying that the what type of phyllotaxy is there, you have to simply, you have to see that how many leaves at each node. If one, it is alternate. If two, then it is opposite. If it is more than two, it is whorl type. Okay. Next is the leaves that we, okay, then the type of leaf. Basic type is one is simple leaf, and the second one is compound leaf. So what is simple leaf and compound leaf? See here, this is that the photograph of the one leaf, that typical leaf we have seen. And in this, what we can see that this leaf has only one lamina. Okay, only one lamina. So if any leaf has only one lamina, then the leaf is simple. So this one is simple leaf. This is also that the leaf showing the reticulate and parallel venation. These two are also simple leaf because they have only one lamina. Okay, sometimes we can see that some of the leaves, they have more than one lamina, and what happened that it appear that in one leaf there are several smaller leaves are there. Okay, so these are called that it is actually this one or this one. This one is a midrib. This is the midrib, the main vein, or here this one is petiole. Okay, this is petiole, and one leaf has only one petiole. So if to a petiole more than one lamina is attached, that smaller leaves are attached, then this is known as compound leaf. Actually, what happened that this say if this is a leaf, and have you seen the leaves of radish? Their margin is very much wavy, is it? Very much wavy margin. Some of the leaves, say like leaves of squash or pumpkin, you will find like this, that this is the lamina. Lamina is more or less, it is showing that more or less divided into three lobes. But this incision, they have not reached up to the midrib. So though this mustard or in case of radish, the leaves has wavy margin, but still this lamina is single. But if a condition arises that this leaf lamina has this wavy condition, or the incision has reached up to the midrib, in that case we can treat that a single leaf has several lamina. The lamina has been broken into smaller pieces, and these pieces also appear like a small leaf, each one. So in that case, this is a compound leaf. All right, this is compound leaf. So in a compound leaf, there is a smaller lamina. The lamina is splitted into a smaller pieces which appear like small leaves, or we call leaflet. Then it is the compound leaf. This incision of the lamina, this margin, has reached up to the midrib. So this midrib also is then, it is named differently. This one is now, the midrib is called as that rachis. Okay, so this one is called rachis. So on the rachis there are leaflet. Each leaflet, they also have a midrib. All right. So these are called leaflet. Now we have a problem that how can we know that these are leaflet and the part of the same leaf, or these are simple leaf, not the part of same leaf. This is, we can easily identify that. I think we have say this is a leaf petiole. This is the leaf, this is the petiole, and this is axil of the, this is leaf base, is it? And this is the axil of the leaf, and at the axil of the leaf there is a bud which is known as axillary bud. Each leaf, every single leaf has this axillary bud, whether very small or large. Okay, there is axillary bud. But if the, say, leaf is compound, you will find the axillary bud here. Okay, but at the axil of this leaf, at the axil of the leaf, there is no bud. Axil of the leaflet, there is no bud. So at the axil of leaf, there is axillary bud. bud, but at the axil of leaflet of a compound leaf, there is no axillary there is no axillary bud at the axil of the leaflet. There will be a bud, axillary bud at the axil of the entire leaf. Okay, this is, you can see that the leaf photographs, and from the original specimen also you can get it. See, these two are the compound leaves, this one as well as this one. This is, say here, this is the stem, this one is petiole. So this petiole is common for all the leaflet. So we call the midrib as the rachis, and these are leaflet. What is it called? Leaflets. So this is a leaflet, this is a leaflet, this is a leaflet. Or their leaf lamina is also known as pinna. So it is sometimes known as pinule. Pinule. Okay. This one is one type, and this one is another type. This is also a compound leaf. Here what we can see, that all the leaflet, they are coming out from a common point. But in this case, the midrib is very long, that forming the rachis, and leaflets are appearing on either side of the rachis. Is it? Either side of the rachis. And in this case, the leaflets are coming out from, since the more or less one point. This is one type. So in the compound leaf, again there is, in the compound leaf, again there are two types. Okay, one is pinnate, pinnately compound, and another one is palmately compound. Okay, pinnately compound is the first one, and palmately compound is the second one. Here, see, in this case, this one is pinnately compound, that the leaflets are coming out along the rachis alternately or opposite way. But here it seems that it is like our palm, and like the fingers, here the leaflets are coming out. So this is palmately compound. This pinnately compound, again, there are several type. Okay, this one, there are subtype also. Pinnately compound, palmately compound, or unipinnate and bipinnate, tripinnate, means It is there is unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate. Tripinnate means that uni by, say, the one, here is the stem, okay, this is the main, this is petiole and the rachis, this, there are lateral, this branching, and if the leaflets are not here but they are on the, on this branches, means leaf is like this. So this way, that is twice pinnate. In this one, here it is pinnate only once, okay, but in this diagram that I have drawn, here it is pinnate twice. Like that way, it can be pinnate thrice also. Say this is one, first level, second level, all right, and this also again, this secondary branch, there is a tertiary branching and the leaflet are attached here. Hmm. So this is bipinnate, this is tripinnate, like this way many. Sometimes this pinnately compound leaves are also divided as peripinnate, imperipinnate. Pinnate and peripinnate. Here, this depends on the, that whether you can see that these leaflets are there and at the tip there is one. Means here the total number of leaflet will be odd, not the even. So when there is a odd number, it is imparipinnate. If there is a leaflet number is even number, then it is peripinnate. So this one I have drawn, it is imparipinnate. If this one is, say, is removed, there is nothing here. Now this numbers are equal. So in that case, it is peripinnate. So this is how that leaves are there, and the leaves, their arrangement, the leaf surface, leaf shapes, etc. is very important morphological structure by which we can identify a plant and a species. So in the plant taxonomy, that leaf morphology is very important. Now let us move to next one, is the modification of leaf. say leaf modification, like what we have learnt in case of root, stem, there are modification. In leaf also modification is there. Modification is to perform the spatial physiological function. Okay, so leaf function, main function of leaf is what? Main function of leaf is to carry out photosynthesis. That it carries out photosynthesis, that is, it synthesizes food material, is it? But in many plant species, in many plant, the leaves carry out some other function also. Along with the photosynthesis, they carry out some other function, and for that leaf get modified. Right? So what are this modified leaves? One is that leaf tendril. Leaf tendril. Tendrils are that these are thin, long, wire-like coiled structure, coiled structure and function as climbing organs for plants having weak stems. Weak stems means here we can see many of the plant they cannot uh, stand erect. Okay, their stem are very weak. Say like in case of we have seen uh, that in pumpkin, cucumber, is that grapevines, they have very long plants, but their stem is very weak, so they have to climb for getting the light, sunlight. So that's why they have to climb on the other trees or some other support. That is, of course, in pumpkin and pumpkin cucumber, we have learned it was the tendril was that was a modification of the stem. But here the leaf also can function as a climbing organ by coiling around the support. This one we find where? We find in case of pea, that is garden pea and the uh, lathyrus. Lathyrus, garden pea is Lathyrus, and then this is garden pea is Pisum, and Lathyrus is sweet pea. हेलो ज्योति जी, हम थोड़ा क्लास चल रहा है, हम थोड़ा बाद में फोन करता है. ओके. In the Lathyrus and garden pea, that Pisum, in this case, what happened? The sum of the leaflet, sum of the leaflet or entire leaf is modified into tendril. Okay, so this is the leaf tendril modification. If you see this in case of Pisum, say this is the stem, this one is the leaf, and here maybe some leaflets are there. But some of the leaflet, they are modified into coil-like structure. Okay, and their photosynthesis is carried out by some that is the stipule. Stipules are leafy. One pair of stipule is there. They are leafy and they carry out the function of photosynthesis. But these leaflets, say one pair leaflet, this is one pair, this one is terminal leaflet, has been modified into tendrils. So this is for climbing. This one is a climbing organ. Right now, this another modification of leaf is modified into spines.
Sir.
Yes.
Can the stem also be spiral and gives out spiral leaves like?
No, but this
is spiral and it also gives out spiral leaves.
No, this stem, see, in case of that cucumber and grapevine, squash plant, there is tendril is found. Okay, and those tendrils are the modification of stem. Clear? They are a stem tendril, but this one, the leaf one, this is a modification of the entire leaf, or the part of the leaf is modified. See, these are, in the compound leaf, these are the position of leaflet. So here these are modified. In some cases, what happen? The stipules, they are modified into tendrils. In some plant species, it is there that their tips of the leaf, one is called the glory, Okay, the tip of the leaf is modified into tendrils. So we have learned tendrils. Tendrils are actually climbing organ, whether it is a stem modification or it is leaf modification. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next is the leaf spine. Leaf spine. All right. The spines are also, they are pointed structure. Pointed structure. They are defensive organ. Hello, hello. Your audio system is disturbing. Okay, okay, okay. Hello, hello. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
No, some disturbing sound is there. I think from someone's audio it is coming. Okay. Uh, if you have any question, you can type also. Okay. Or you can write your question on the screen. না না লিখতে পারছে ওরা hello. Hmm. Okay, let us start. So these are leaf spines are a pointed structure, defensive organ. Is spines, see, spines and the horns and spines, these are similar things. Thorns and spines, these are similar thing, but what happens, the spine is a modification of leaf and the thorn is a modification of a stem or branches. Thorn is modification of a stem. These are thicker and stronger thorn. Thorn is strong and thicker, but spines are, they are thin structure, modified leaves. Sometimes the entire axillary bud, the entire the bud modified into a spine, modify into a spine. Okay, this is also so for thin pointed structure, either the entire leaf is modified, or the bunch of leaf is modified, or the part of the leaf is modified. Okay. Say in case of pineapple, no? In case of pineapple, what you will find at the tip portion is very much pointed. In case of aloe, you will find that at the margin there is pointed structure, there is a spine. Then there are many other wild leaves are there where on their margin, okay, margin there are a spine. Margin is very much pointed and it turn into a spine. So this is very common example that you can give in case of opuntia, all the opuntia and other cacti. Cacti. In cacti, you see that there are on the phylloclad surface, there is a bunch of spines are there. Actually, this bunch of spines are the modification of the entire bud. That is, in a bud, there are many leaf, leaf buds, and those leaves they have modified into a spine. In case of opuntia, the stem has modified into phylloclade, and the leaves they have modified into a spine. And the stem, the phylloclade, they carry out the photosynthesis. Here, in case of opuntia, this by modification of this spine, the leaf modify into a spine, and this way they can reduce transpiration. They reduce transpiration. The cacti are desert plant. Their water supply is very less, and so they have to reduce or economize the use of water, and that's why leaf has been changed into a spine, and the function of the leaf is carried out by a stem. There is another modification. I think you know that the yes, yes, it is time.
So does preparation of food takes place in this time?
No, because here the leaves they modify for defense. Say by changing into a spine, naturally the surface, exposed surface has been reduced very much. So they cannot significantly, they cannot produce food. And that is why their stem portion is green, which is phylloclade we call. That portion is carrying out photosynthesis. Here this spine, it is totally for defense. In the desert areas there are a lot of grazing animals, so these spines helping in two ways. One is reducing the loss of water through the transpiration, and another they are carrying out defensive work, defense from the grazing animals. Another one is fleshy leaves. Fleshy leaves, you can see here the leaf is usually thick and fleshy. In normal foliage leaves, what type of we see? They are thin, okay, very thin structure. But in aloe vera, you have seen aloe vera. I think you know aloe vera is very common plant that is used as medicine, used for beauty purposes and other things. The jelly that is found from the aloe vera, that has lot of medical importance. These leaves, they are fleshy. These fleshy leaves, they keep inside mucilage, okay, and when they have mucilage, they have the capacity to retain water in them. Mucilage is a very good imbibant, that is they can soak water. So due to presence of mucilage, these fleshy leaves of aloe vera and similar plant, they can retain lot of water in them, so help in the water storage. And fleshy leaves are also found in case of onion, is it, that the onion we eat, they are the fleshy leaves and they store food material. So fleshy leaves are for storage of food and water. Another modification that here we are in Meghalaya and we are very much uh, 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 this plant, the pitcher plant is very much known to us, is it? Pitcher. So there is a leaf pitcher, okay? These are a special type of plant and they are carnivore. Carnivore, that they get their nutrition from the animals. Nutrition from animal. In this case, in the leaf pitcher, the leaf lamina particularly, that is the broad flat portion, lamina is modified into a leaf into a pitcher like structure. I believe that you have seen the pitcher plant here, and in this pitcher, what happened? They have secretory gland, secretory digestive gland. Okay, so when a very small insect enter the pitcher, they plant the leaf, they secrete some acid and enzyme. Acid kills the insect and then the enzyme digests the insect. And after digestion, this digested solution, okay, those are absorbed by the leaf surface. And these are actually this pitcher plant, they grow in places where there is the less nitrogenous compound, nitrogen rich, ni less nitrogen in soil. So nitrogen is a very important nutrition, important minerals for every organism. So as they don't get much from the soil, nitrogenous nutrition, so they have to depend on the animal source. This type of that carnivorous plants, there are many. I think sundew is there. You have heard the name. The plant is known as sundew or drosera. Drosera, there is one is the Dionia. These are all the carnivore plants. There is aquatic, one aquatic carnivore plant is there. It is known as Utricularia. Utricularia, in this, their leaf change into a small bladder, like football bladder. Okay, so they are known as, this Utricularia is common name is bladderwort. Okay, so these are some of the modification of the leaves, right? So in the next class we will start with the flower. Next class will be on flowers. Maybe next week or any day whenever is. Okay, any question? And you can later on also you can send, or you can send a message or write